Oh yeah, a lot of you guys actually asked me in my other crochet top video what yarn I use. So this is the label sort of thing on it. It's just 100% acrylic. I get these in 100-gram sizes. I just get this from Linkcraft. It's like $2 a ball, so it's pretty good. And Spotlight also has some. I'm pretty sure you can get some yarn at Kmart as well, since crocheting became popular. So if you watch a lot of my tutorials, you would have known by now that I love starting everything off with a slip knot. So here is mine for this video, and I'm just going to slide it onto my hook. By the way, the hook I'm using is my loom band hook. It says rainbow loom on it, and I believe it is a 4/5mm hook. A lot of you guys asked me that in my last video. And now you're just going to do a simple chain. So a chain is a yarn over and then pull the loop through. So you're going to do that as many times as you need until you can wrap the length of this around your wrist. So I've just built like a new setup. Here is my chain where we left off. I just measured it and it's about like 21/22 centimeters long. It just like wraps around my wrist without being too tight, so it's like the perfect length. And now we're going to connect the ends together, so it's like a circle. So when we're crocheting, we're doing a spiral all the way up the sleeve and we won't have to connect anything. So to do that, you're just going to insert your hook into the first stitch on your chain on the other end, and then you're just going to pull your yarn through both loops. Then you're just going to chain one, like so. Now you've joined your loop together, you're going to chain 2 more. This is to make up for the height of the first double crochet, because double crochets are quite tall. So now we're just going to do another chain and then yarn over and then insert our hook not into the next stitch but into the stitch after. Then we're going to pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through another 2. So basically the little chain that we did here counts as one of our double crochets. And then we're going to chain 1 again and yarn over and then skip the next chain and then move into the chain after. Pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and then pull through 2. And this is basically how we're going to do all of our sleeve. Just yarn over and then a double crochet into the next chain. So not this one but this one. So you're just going to chain 1 again and then just repeat this. Alrighty guys, I'm back and I just did that double crochet chain double crochet combination all the way around my chain. So now we're ready to move on to the next row. The way you're going to do this is you're just going to chain 1 and then insert your hook into whichever stitch looks like the corner of this double crochet. So which will be here for me, and then you're going to, you got to yarn over first because we're doing another double crochet. Forgot about that one. So and then insert your hook into the corner, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through another 2. You're going to crochet in between these 2 posts. So what I mean is just insert your hook into that gap and then pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Just like that. And then yarn over, pull the loop through again, and then you're going to double crochet into each of the gaps between 2 double crochets from the previous row. So this is basically how you do the sleeve. You just gotta keep on crocheting.
Hi guys, so I'm back to continue on with this tutorial. It's been a hot minute since I filmed my last clip, but I've got half of my sleeve done now. So if you look at the reference photo, you'll see the sleeve's white for the second half, so that's what I'm going to do. I got a little bit of white yarn. Starting off, you're going to do a slip knot as always, and then you're just going to put your hook back into your sleeve, and then place your slip knot on top like so. Then you're going to pull it through, and then you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch like so, then pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yep, okay, so I've just had a tripod complication, but that's okay, that's all fixed now. As I was saying before, you can also cut off your yarn now. I'm just going to leave a little bit of a tail so it doesn't come undone. So now just repeat the same thing that we were doing before, so which is doing a chain and then double crocheting in each of our stitches. I like to tuck the tail behind the yarn like this when I like pull up a loop, so it stays on this row. And this is also where you want to start increasing stitches. So to do that, you do 2 double crochets coming from the same loop that we crochet from. So I'll show you guys how that's done. So that would be 1, and then I'm going to chain 1 and then yarn over and then insert my hook back into the same loop that we did this double crochet from. So just like this. So this is gonna, if you just do this a couple of times per row, your sleeve's gonna get wider as you go because you're doing more stitches. Okay, so I also highly recommend that you try your sleeve on just whenever you do a couple of rows, because just to see like how it fits and everything. If it's too tight, too loose, you still have time to adjust it and stuff.
So I've just tried on my sleeve, and as you can see it pretty much reaches my armpit, so I'm gonna go ahead and change my color to a light blue. For the shoulder part, you want to fold your sleeve in half like this so it's flat, and you also want to make sure that you know which side is the front and which side is the back. I've just done a couple of stitches and I'm actually going to just stop there, then I'm going to chain 2, then I'm going to turn my work around like so, and I'm going to double crochet back into my blue stitches. So just the same double crochet, chain, double crochet as before. Okay, I'll just talk you guys through to what I'm going to do. This will be the front half of my sleeve, and the other side, the back here, that will be the back half of my sleeve. And as you can see, we're no longer crocheting in spirals continuously. We've stopped here, so we're going to do our double crochet chain stitches all the way along the back and then all the way around the front as well, stopping in the last stitch here and then doing 2 chains and turning back like we did here. So if you don't remember that or don't really know how to do it, that's okay, I'm going to show you guys again, but that's basically what's going to be happening. And on the way back here, when you go from this end back there, you're going to decrease a stitch.
So here, as you can see, I've done all my crocheting up until the stitch next to this bit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2. Oops, okay. And then we're going to start decreasing stitches on this side. So to do that, this is how I do it. I'm going to insert my hook into the second stitch, so not this one but this one in here, and then I'm going to pull up a loop, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop as well. So now I'm just going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over and pull through another 2 loops. So here you've just made these 3 stitches into 1 stitch, and then I'm just going to chain 1 again, and we're going to yarn over and do our normal double crochets from the next stitch onwards. So once you reach the other side here, you're not actually going to decrease any stitches on this side. This side will just be nice and straight because this will be the back and this half here will be our front, so it's going to have that slopey sort of diagonal crochet look around the shoulders, because I think that's one of the unique things about this top and why so many people like it. It's the shoulders. So I've just crocheted into the last stitch on the back. Now I'm going to chain 2 and turn my work. So 1, 2, and then turn it this way again. So as you can sort of see, this the front bit, it's as we crochet it's going to go that way, whereas the back it's still going to be straight. So on the way back, when you're crocheting from the straight edge to the diagonal edge, you're not going to decrease anything on the diagonal edge. When you're crocheting from the diagonal edge over to the straight edge, you're going to decrease a stitch here. So we're essentially decreasing a stitch every 2 rows. I'm up to my last stitch of this row from the straight edge to the diagonal edge, and for the last stitch I'm just going to go in with a half double crochet. So that's just yarn over, insert my hook through, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So that stitch is a bit shorter than a double crochet, so it's going to make the diagonal look a bit more diagonal. And now you're just going to chain 2 and turn your work. So now we're going from the diagonal edge to the straight edge. We're going to decrease a stitch, so just like before, insert our hook not into this stitch but the stitch after, like so, then pull up a loop, and then insert my hook into the next stitch and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So you can really start to see the diagonal shoulder coming along. And now just chain 1 and you can resume to your normal double crochet, chain double crochets. And that's what the shoulder looks like so far, and that's the back. At any time where you feel like your sleeves getting a bit tight around your shoulders, then feel free to increase a stitch like I showed you guys previously by doing 2 double crochets from 1 stitch of the previous row. When the diagonal bit blends in with the back piece, like so, like how it comes to an end, the diagonal, this is when you know you can stop decreasing. So now you just have to do the double crochet, chain double crochet all the way to the last stitch here, and then chain 2 here, and then come back, and then just keep on going back and forth like that. And you're going to do that as soon as this bit is about halfway in between your shoulder blades / back. So I've just crocheted into my last stitch on the back bit, so just gonna do a chain of 2 now, oopsies, and then turn my work around, and then keep on repeating the double crochet, chain double crochets. Okay guys, I didn't explain this before because I forgot about it. And so you're going to count how many rows there are. So mine was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you try this on, and this edge is exactly where your spine is, which means it's the center of your back, also the center of your top. You know that there's 7 rows from the row you stop decreasing to the center of your back. So you're going to crochet 7 more rows onwards. So it should look like this. That was my 7 rows I counted out. And now you're going to start increasing stitches, because we decreased the stitches to make this bit of crochet thinner and thinner, and then we're going to gain that bit back, we're going to have to increase crochets. To increase stitches, you want to do it on this side because you want the increased parts to be like overlapping on top, folding over. So you want to be increasing the stitches on this side. And as you can see, my loop is on this side at the moment, so I'm just going to do my double crochet chain, double crochet back to this end. So because on this side I remember decreasing 1 stitch per row, we're going to increase 1 stitch per row on this side. So to do that, you're going to just do your normal double crochet, followed by a chain, and now you're going to do another double crochet. So yarn over, insert your hook back into the same loop, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So now as you can see, there are 2 double crochets coming from 1 stitch. You're going to chain 1 and chain another one. Now you're going to turn your work, so you're working from right to left again, and now you're going to increase another stitch in your first stitch. So to do that, it would be the same step as before, and you're going to just repeat the double crochet, chain, double crochet in each stitch until you reach the end, and then chain 2 and then come back. Whenever you're on the last stitch of this end, you're going to increase a stitch, and it doesn't matter whether you're going from this side to that side or that side back. Every time you're going to increase a stitch. So yeah, as you crochet, your stitches should be curving outwards like that sort of way, like diagonally like that, and then we're going to attach it down later, so it's going to fold down like this side. So I've just been crocheting the shoulder part on this side, and I don't think I've mentioned this yet, but you want to do the same amount of rows as you did on this side. So I just counted how many rows I decreased for, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So for this side I'll be doing 14 rows of increases as well. Or if you don't count stitches like rows, you could also like fold this down like this, and then you could fold it over in half and see if your shoulder part is the same length as this one. You just want both shoulders to be identical. So once your sleeve, this bit here pretty much meets the back corner around your shoulder, then you can move on to the next step. So I've just done my increases like this, and I'm now going to fold it over and just connect it with the back here. So this is what my bolero looks like so far. Yeah, you just want to make sure that like this bit is folding the same way on both sides, so you can actually wear it. To connect the 2 ends together so we can do our sleeve, you're going to insert your hook into the first stitch here, then you're gonna pull up a loop and pull the loop through like so, and now that's all connected. Then you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then chain 1 more, so chain 3 in total. And then you're going to continue on with your double crochet, chain and double crochet. This is how we're going to do the rest of our sleeve. You're just going to do that crochet all the way around and keep on going until your sleeve is as long as this one. And at any point, if you need to decrease stitches or increase stitches, it's just the same method as before. So increasing would be doing 2 double crochets from the same stitch, and decreasing would be doing 1 double crochet coming from 2 stitches. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of this off camera, then I'll be back with you guys to show you how to close off the sleeve. I've just done the my first row of the sleeve all the way around, and I'm back to the connective bit now. So I'm actually going to do a double crochet just from the chain that we did to connect the 2 ends together, so it doesn't look like a really big stitch. So I just did a double crochet from that bit there, and then gonna do another one in this stitch here, and then now we return to the first stitch of the other edge, which I'm going to crochet into. Now you're just going to continue on with the double crochet, chain, double crochet sequence all the way down the sleeve. It should be the same as doing the sleeve at the very start, so I'm not going to film any more clips about this. So I'm going to show you guys how to finish it off. I'm just going to do 3 half double crochets. It's the same thing as a double crochet up until this step when you have 3 loops on your hook. So now you're going to yarn over, and for a double crochet you would just pull through 2 loops, but this, for a half double crochet, you're going to pull through all 3. And then same thing, chain 1, and then do that again, and then one more time. Now you're going to do 3 single crochets. So a single crochet is inserting your hook into the next loop, pulling up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2 like that, 2, and then just one more time, 3. As you can see, we've sort of decreased the height of our stitches. Now to tie it off, I usually just insert my hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, and then pull the loop through, and then I just chain 1, and then I chain another one, so that would be a knot when we cut it. And if you just pull the yarn through, then you can tighten it and it will be a knot. So that's how I finish off my sleeves, nice and straight edges. So here's my completed sleeve, and I'm going to take my first color, just this blue here, and then I just did a slip knot and I slid it on my hook. And now I'm going to start from this edge of my top, so this is the curve for the shoulder area, and then I'm just going to start crocheting from this little bit here, just this stitch. So I'm going to take my slip knot off the hook, insert my hook through, then pull it through, and then I'm just going to do a long chain, so just long enough for the front half of your body. I've just done my chain from one end to the other, and it was about 48 centimeters stretched out because it does have quite a bit of stretch to it. So I don't really like counting chains for you guys. I like referring to it by length in centimeters. Anyway, so now we're going to connect to the other edge, and I'm just going to insert my hook. So I'm going to insert my hook into just the middle stitch here when you it's like right on the fold when you fold your sleeve in half, and then I'm going to yarn over, pull the loop through, and then pull the loop through that one as well.
So now you've got your chain attached to both sides of your sleeves, like so. And now I'm going to crochet from the back. So what I mean by this is I'm going to do 2 chains, and then I'm going to insert my hook into the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, and then pull through 2. So that's a double crochet, and then you're just going to chain 1 and then do the same thing in the next stitch. Like so. And you're going to do these double crochets all the way along the back, and then eventually you'll be crocheting all the way along the back edge there, and then back to the front where we attached the chain. I've crocheted all the way along the back edge of my bolero, so now we could see that the chain is in the same stitch. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to chain 1 and then start double crocheting from the chain. So basically the chain is a part of this row now. You're going to just insert yarn over and then insert your hook into the first stitch of the chain, and then double crochet as usual. So I'm not going to chain 1 in between my double crochets here because I want it to be a bit more compact than it was. And yeah, you're just going to keep on crocheting along the chain at the front. Once you've double crocheted along the whole chain, you're just going to continue on double crocheting in these stitches. So just like that, except now I like to do my double crochets like in between 2 stitches, like just in here each time, if that makes sense. And I'm also running out of blue yarn, so I'm actually gonna take this opportunity to show you guys how to change colors. So I just do a slip knot again with my new color, and then I like to just like use that one as the yarn over that we would do in our double crochet. So now you just have to insert your hook into the next stitch. I also like to tuck the ends of my yarn behind like that, and then you're just gonna pull up a loop and then yarn over and then pull through 2 stitches, yarn over and pull through another 2, and then gonna chain 1 here just to like close those 2 off, I guess. And now you just do the same thing that you were repeating before. Like so. And now just do the double crochets around like the back edge all the way along the back, and then go to the front and just keep on doing this until like the width covers your bust area, and then we're going to switch to a different stitch. One thing worth mentioning would be that whenever I was crocheting on the front, which is this area here, I crocheted into every stitch like so, instead of in between 2 posts at the back. So here's my top so far. And once that's long enough for your bust area, you're going to move on and start crocheting this stitch, which is what I'm going to show you next. So I'm just going to turn it upside down so I can crochet. Okay, from here I just added a new color, which is white. So to do the chain, double crochet chain all the way around, we're going to do a chain first, obviously, and then we're going to do a double crochet, but we're going to skip the next stitch because the chain makes up for the width of it. So we're going to go into not the next stitch but the stitch after that, and then double crochet from there. And then once you've done that, you're going to do another chain and skip the next stitch and go into the stitch after. Like so, and chain again, and same thing, skip the next stitch, go into the stitch after. This is what it looks like, and I'm just gonna do this all the way around my top, around and around until you reach your desired length for the top. Here is my crochet top now. So I've added a few more rows onto this bit. I ended up undoing this bit after I filmed the clip, so I've got this extra length here for my bust area in this stitch, and I'm happy with the amount of rows I've done down here, so I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how I finish off the top. So I'm going to do a few half double crochets, so yarn over, set your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. You're going to chain 1 and then same thing, and then I'm just going to do one more and chain 1, and now you're going to do some single crochets. So that's going to be inserting your hook into the next stitch, pulling up a loop, yarn over and pulling through 2, and then going to chain 1 and then same thing again, and then I'm going to do one more single crochet. Like so, and now I'm going to do 2 chains. Hold on, my yarn is a bit short because this was like a scrap piece I found, so it's already cut. But okay, I'm gonna try my best to do 2 chains here. So that's 1, and then that's 2, and then you're going to pull the tail of yarn through that second chain so that it forms a knot, like so, and then you can just like cut it off shorter, and there you have it. Yeah, that is your crochet top completed.